Morning guys, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back guys. I'm so happy. I'm extremely happy. I don't know. I arrived in Arua yesterday night. It was around midnight. I left Gulu at around 6 in the evening, and I reached this side very late guys. I began wondering why I traveled late in the night, because I boarded a car that had to make stopovers as we came on the way. When it reached, I boarded about 3 cars to reach Arua from Gulu. There were taxis, and when I was leaving Gulu, I had to say goodbye to my friend Henrik, and he took me to where I boarded from. I first went to the bus park, and when I reached the bus park, they told me there is only one bus left, and that bus was going to first pass through Karuma, and then from Karuma it had to from Karuma, that's where I had to board another bus that would be coming from Kampala, and it takes me to Arua. But at that very point, another guy came and told me that will be very far. There is another option for you. Since the vehicles going straight to Arua have left, there is an option for you. You can board a taxi from Gulu to Pakwach. Yeah, so I had to board a taxi to Pakwach. There from Pakwach, they told me I would get a bus that would bring me to Arua. My God, I reached Pakwach when it was around 8 p.m. It was already dark, and when I reached Pakwach, I was wondering how I was going to reach Arua. My heart was telling me, you sleep around Pakwach, you'll get a bus tomorrow when it is daylight, and the other heart of mine told me, you can board. I got another option of boarding at that very time. So I got a taxi that was coming, that promised me was going to bring me up to Arua. My God, that taxi was also stopping all along the way, and the taxi was good, but the road from Pakwach to Nebi, that Nebi is another town where I got another taxi. The road was not good at all. It had some points where it was being constructed, some points had potholes. My God, the road was not good. So we arrived at Nebi when it was around, it took us 1 hour to reach Nebi from Pakwach. And when we arrived at Nebi, it was around 9:30. Yeah, when I arrived in Nebi, I was somehow not feeling safe, but I arrived in the town. The town is somehow small, but the people are friendly in that town. I was surprised. People were speaking some Congolese, some were speaking French, others were speaking Swahili. Yeah, in that town. And at that point, there was an interesting thing. I met some people speak Uganda. There was a girl in a certain shop I went to buy something, and she was speaking Uganda. I was so surprised. And then I wanted to have a short call at that point. And as I was going, I asked some lady, and she directed me at the back of the building. But as I went at the back of the building, it was very dark, and some guy came following me, and he came and asked me, what are you doing this way? Where are you going? I told him I wanted to go for a short call. He said, okay, I will show you where the toilet is. I was so scared. I thought the guy would abduct me from there and maybe rob all my stuff. But my heart told me, be strong, because you pray to God. So the guy took me to a toilet, and it was all good. Fortunately, I found some kid bathing in that gateway. He took me to get a toilet. Then I said, yeah, this is okay now. So when I came from the toilet, of course the guy took me for a reason. he asked me for some coins, and I was ready with changed coins. So guys, whenever you're moving, you have to move with changed coins, because it will be of use for you. Yeah, you can give out that change for such incidences. So after, I had to board another taxi from Nebi to Arua. My God, I'd never sat in such a taxi. It had no seats. The seats were luggage for passengers. And there was a lady. She was, I don't know which tribe she was from, but in that taxi, we were very many people of different tribes. I only had one guy speak Uganda. Other people, you would find two people from different tribes speak different languages. So that lady in the taxi was saying, my God, I've never sat in such a taxi. I wish I waited for the bus. But it was late. That was the only option we had. No seats, you just sit on the luggage down there. Imagine that kind of taxi. And some guy there in the taxi was saying, this is just a joke. In Congo, we sit even in a very worse condition like this, more than even than this. So the taxis in Congo, maybe, I don't know, they sit how many people there, but even no seats, what, I don't know. Maybe the transport system there is somehow not okay. So the guy was, because Arua is just, maybe Arua, those places are just on the border of Uganda and Congo, so you can easily cross to Congo. Maybe the guy has ever been there. Now, the journey began. It had a lot of potholes. We came across a lot of potholes on the way from Nebi to Arua. It took us some good time because of those potholes. The road is not smooth at all. It's what I can say. Not smooth at all. It's weird. But as we came, you would find groups of young men moving along the way. I don't know. Maybe they were coming from somewhere, maybe to watch football. I don't know, because it was Sunday evening. I don't know what they were doing along the way in the night, and it's dark, and they are moving along the way, like five boys moving in groups. Fortunately, I arrived in Arua at around midnight. I arrived in Arua. And on my arrival, the driver and the conductor, we stayed around 4 people in the taxi. I, another passenger, and the conductor and the driver. And these guys were asking me, where are you going and where should we leave you? I had no clue of where I was going, and I just told them I want a place to sleep. And these guys were like, my God, what should we do? We also don't have where to sleep. And now, fortunately, these guys just kept driving. I also said, let me just stay in this taxi. Where it stops, it's where I will stop, and I'll figure out where to go. Because in Uganda, at night you can easily get a motorcycle. I was seeing motorcycles moving around, and the only people you would spot on the highways were these sex workers and stuff. Those people taking drugs, stuff like that. So fortunately, this vehicle brought me up to the guest house that I am in right now. This is the place where I had to sleep last night, and I'm editing a certain video there. Unfortunately, I got where to sleep. It's a cheap place where I spent the night, and I'm actually ready to take you guys around Arua city. Yeah, so welcome to Arua. This is where I am. This is my current location right now. Wow. So I'm going to take you around, guys. Thank you. Let's meet in another episode.